Hey, welcome guys. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Mwalimu Anundo official channel, and today we are having a gym in the house. Mapotea sana bana.
Mi nipo na hapa mashughuli za hapa na pale. Kufile returns.
Nishaanza kulipa zakayo.
Returns zimenifanya mjaniona.
Ni muhimu sana.
Nijaze.
By the deadline iko 31st.
Yeah, the deadline is almost approaching. I think it's month. Hii mwezi
31st.
Yeah, kama hujajaza return and show you have filed your returns.
Ama ujue zakayo ni nani?
Zakayo hawamjui. Zakayo za nabii, alitoka nabii. Sasa anaita Zakayo. Actually accepted the name.
Kindly respect our president.
No. He accepted
you have to respect the president.
Alikubali jina, he accepted the name.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you so much guys for joining us. Today we want to look at the financial bill. And this guy here is a teacher. They are against the financial bill 2023.
Very much against.
The president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, has proposed 3% deductions to the civil servants and teachers so that they can help in building, in having something called the house levy. He's calling the housing levy. Teachers led by Kupet, they are against. That is the Kenya.
Kupet seems not to be opposing it. Ni kama walienda status wakapewa kitu.
But the statement from Akelo Misori,
no,
they are against
if you saw the speech of Akelo the other day is like he was speaking in tongues, because yes, you need to interpret it, because he was saying that we need which consultation do we need? We don't need consultation. It's dead on arrival. Why are you telling us consultation?
Okay, let me continue. Okay, Kupet is against it. The Kenya National Union of Teachers, that is NAT, is against it. Yeah. So today we want to understand why teachers. You are a teacher. Why are you guys? Let me explain this. According to my understanding, the president is among the most clever people we have in this country. Coming from a humble background to be a president. That guy is charismatic. Is a genius, let me tell you. So let me say this. The guy must be knowing something that we don't know as Kenyans.
As Kenyans, we know one thing.
That is, wait. That is why he's saying that we can depend on ourselves. We don't need to depend on our loans so that we develop our country. That's the first thing. The second thing, when you read the history of other countries, like Japan, like the US, they have worked for their country. That is paying the bills. People in the US are paying bills so that they develop their country. So my friend, that teacher, tell us why teachers are against, and they're even saying they're going on strike because of the financial
point bill. Of correction, the countries you have mentioned, those are not third world countries. Those are first world countries. Those are countries that have developed economically, they have developed technologically, they have development every sector.
Okay.
So the means of production, they have their own means of production, meaning the circulation of money in those countries is very high. Now the problem I'm having, I'm not even having a problem with the house levy. I'm having a problem with the entire bill.
The
entire bill. Because because I know most people have
but I think that's where we can start from.
Now that is where we are going to start from, because most Kenyans only opposing one sector of the bill, and that is the house levy.
Okay.
And the president is very, you said he's a genius, he's a very cunning guy. Now he's using the normal Kenyans, that is he's calling the suffering, the hustlers, to accept the bill by preaching to them a false gospel, kuwadanganya ya kwamba nyinyi hamjaandikwa, you don't have a pay slip.
And why are you calling it a false? Why can't you believe in the president?
It's a false hope because most Kenyans, actually majority of the Kenyans out there, hawajui ya kwamba hii bill does not only squeeze teachers that is employed. I'm talking about the employed Kenyans with a pay slip. This bill squeeze even those who are not employed. Now let me read for you some of the things that are there in that bill.
Okay.
Number one, VAT on fuel, that is going to increase from 8% to 16%.
It's in the bill?
It's in the bill.
Okay.
Meaning that the price of fuel is going to add by something like 12 shillings. So fuel is going to up to 200 shillings.
Okay.
And you know the price fuel in Kenya control the price fuel the price of every commodity in Kenya. Yes. So it's very automatic on that.
Okay.
Number two, the other thing which is in there excess duty on mobile money transfer. Now there is when you in your M-Pesa, if you are paying your M-Pesa, kuna hizo charges that are in M-Pesa. Ukituma pesa mahali umekatwa like 28 shillings, that is 1,000 kuja hivi chini.
Zienda kama 50.
Now that is going to increase from 12 to 15%.
That is 3% increase.
Yeah, that is a 3% increase. Meaning charges inaweza toka around from 28 to 30. Now that one is not affecting me mwenye niko employed. It's also going to affect ule mwenye anadanganya huko chini that you are not employed, you should be supporting this bill. Now this one is affecting, it cuts across employed and unemployed.
Okay.
Fuel cuts across employed and employed. Now the other one is what you call the other one is on insurance.
Okay.
Insurance. I think not majority of teachers have insurance, but 1 or 2, 3 teachers you have an insurance cover.
Yeah.
You may decide that because I you not know your days on this world, you take an insurance cover.
Okay.
And that one, you're not taking an insurance cover because you want profit. No. Yeah. You are taking your cover because you want to protect the people you do what you love. Now, on this bill, that money that they are paying you from your insurance cover as compensation,
you'll be taxed.
That money is going to be taxed. In general, what am I saying? You are working for the government.
Very true.
You are working for the government. If I've taken a cover, it's for my family. It's not because I want profit. No. It's the protection of my well-being in case I get an accident and I can't work anymore. I get compensation. Now the government is just waiting there, relaxed, and say, okay, you have been paid this money. Now give us the specific code share.
Okay. Another thing before I react on the proposals.
Generally, the entire bill is unrealistic and is oppressing. You know, our president was campaigning on the basis of hustlers. It's against those principles he was strongly supporting.
You know, the first thing I said about Japan and the US and other countries that have developed. If you read the history of those countries very well, like Japan, for example, they decided to work for their country. Actually, even in Japan people work for 12 hours. So, let me say this. So the president is increasing, for example, VAT from 8% to 16%. For what? For development of the country. Who will benefit for the development of the country? Now, that's a good thing. You know, when you support the president in doing that, the country is going to develop.
As much as you are saying that the country is going to develop, at the same time, you have to understand the principles of money circulation. The principle of money circulation, that is how economy can thrive and economy can fail.
Yeah.
Now, if you are going to tax the working class people and the normal Kenyans, means there is not going to be supply of money. Number one, if I was taking a motorbike daily to work, I don't have money. I'm not going to take that motorbike. I'm going to work to work. I'm going to walk to work. Meaning the person who's dealing with a motorcycle is going on a loss. Hii biashara yake is going on a loss. Number two, kama nilikuwa naenda kwa duka na buy vitu wholesale and large quantity, I'm no longer going to do that. I'm going to buy my product in small quantity. Meaning mtu wa duka naye amefanya nini? Ameathirika. Number three, if I take constant traveling, naenda nyumbani huku naenda hapa, I'm going to cut that. I'm going to travel maybe once a month. Meaning mtu wa matatu automatically amekuwa what? Affected. So the circulation of money is going to be very minimum. And when the circulation of money is going to be very minimum, many people are going to get affected.
Let's go to the teachers now.
Now, for the teachers.
Yes. Teachers are crying. They don't want, actually, 3% of their salary is around 1,800, 1,600 only.
Only?
Yeah, 1,600 only from the teachers for development of the country. Why
not you guys developing of the country? Is saying the house levy. Kwanza na hapo nani ana kwao?
You know, now that is thinking local.
No, nani ana kwao? Hata kama una kwenu kuna mahali.
No, if you start thinking now, that way.
Now, let me tell you.
Because we need houses like other developed countries. You know, other developed countries have houses that which are developed by the government.
Which developed countries that? Give me an example.
Let me tell you.
Which developed countries using money of
in other countries you get that government has houses that you rent from them.
You can't compare Kenya with the first world countries.
No, we start from somewhere. We have to start from somewhere.
If you are starting from
somewhere. But we should not start thinking like nani ana kwao. Okay, is that the thinking we should have?
Now, it's not the thinking. It's about every person right now. And the thing which the president was saying, those houses, if you listen to the PS, he said like the cheapest house is going to be go for around 3 million, roughly 3 million. Now, if you are saying the cheapest house is going for 3 million, what is kind of affordable housing is that? That is just not affordable housing.
But you're not going to buy it at once.
No. You know, a 3 million house, that is still not affordable housing.
But you are not good. You know, you're going to pay in installments. Then later you're going to own the house.
Pay in installments. What happens when you get to a point that you can't pay that money?
You know, one thing that will help. We eradicate slums in the country. People are having houses, but they are not houses.
Now,
poor quality houses.
Now we are going to eradicate
poor, even the no drainage, even the you understand all those things. The slums are going to be eradicated through that one, and that the country will inaweza kaa vizuri kuliko, lakini sio kila mtu akianza kujenga nyumba anajenga tu nyumba kenye si nyumba.
As much as we may reduce the slums, the same time people are going to lose jobs. Let us not look at the jobs which are going to be created. Jobs are going to be lost.
How?
Now, the private sector, for right now, the private sector is highly taxed. That is the manufacturing companies. They are highly taxed.
Okay.
There is no single employer right now because obviously with the increase of fuel, the price of electricity is going to shoot up.
Yeah.
All manufacturers right now, they are incurring the cost and the effect of COVID.
Okay.
So right now, the manufacturer are going to tell him at the same time to incur the price of paying NHI for the workers.
Okay.
At the same time, you're going to pay the 3%. It's not actually 3%, it's 6%. Because
3%
from the employer, 3% from what?
The employee. Yeah.
Now, there is no employer who is going to pay 3% at the same time pay for you NHIF and at the same time pay for you other NSSF.
But they have to agree that with the government.
Now,
they don't have an option.
The government is nowhere close to going to tell the manufacturers and that you are going to reduce the number your taxes. No, they are not anywhere close to that. Okay. The taxes that they are currently incurring, they shall proceed on. Meaning, this is another expenditure umewekea kwa mtu wa nini? Manufacturers ama employer. So the employer will have to cut their losses, and that is letting some workers go.
Okay, look at the other way now. During the implementation of the houses now. How many people are going to be employed?
How many houses are going to make?
Many.
How many houses are they going to make? Who's going to get the contract?
Of course, the locals.
There's no locals who has been given any main project in Kenya to supervise. No. Which main project are we?
No, we are in a different government.
No,
now.
There's no different government. It's the same president who told us he's going to reduce the price of gas by June, and then a few months later he's going to tell us, "Hapana, zi bei ya gas nilikuwa na reduce, bei tulikuwa tunapunguza ni ya nini?"
We call that one teething problems. Teething. No, the president is in
I'm asking you a very
the president is new in the office. No, so he's making some.
He has been in the office.
Yeah, now for 8 months.
No, not for 8 months. He has been acting as a deputy president, so he knows what runs in the
country. There's a difference between being president and being a deputy president.
Actually, right now, that is the same reason why the TSC, that is the Teacher Service Commission, nowadays cannot put someone as a principal unless you have worked as a what? Deputy principal. Yes. So by the time you're working as a principal, at least you know what is usually done in the office. Yes. So as a deputy principal, as a deputy president,
you are expected to know, but it's not a must that you know. You are not
expected to know. You know what runs in government.
You are expected to know.
No, you are not expected to know. You know.
Okay.
You can't tell me right now that
it's 8 months. In government. Let me say this. I had the prime minister, prime cabinet secretary.
Prime cabinet, that is a constitutional seat.
He said that we have to sacrifice as a country for 3 years. Actually, even you, when you want to develop, or when you want to personal development,
now
you have to sacrifice some things. You may say, for example, this year 2023, I'm not going out. I'm going to save a lot of money. After saving up after the whole year, then I will do a project, a big project. So the president, the prime cabinet secretary says, let's sacrifice for 3 years. Then we stabilize ourselves. We move away from borrowing hizo countries zingine tutengeneze nchi yetu. Why are you guys not listening to that?
We are not listening because it's very simple maths. Very simple maths that the government is getting wrong. When I have a debt, actually you have said a very correct thing happened. Na kwamba ukisacrifice unasema siendi out, taenda maybe mara moja. That is not the same thing we are seeing from the government. Our government expects us to sacrifice, but for them, they are not sacrificing anything. Because as a government, you should be the first person, as the president, should have been the first person to tell us, as a president, I'm going to reduce my expenditure.
Okay.
I'm going to sacrifice and reduce the government what expense.
It does not mean when you reduce, you can't reduce, then you delay services. Services must be delivered.
They are not services. Now let me tell you the one
efficiency of services of government.
Not efficiency.
You cannot delay so that you can.
It's not efficiency because you can't tell me our president each and every week is going out on a foreign trip. What is it benefiting?
It's not a trip. It's not a trip.
No, those are trips. What are they benefiting our country?
There are a lot. We have diplomatic relations.
There is nothing like diplomatic relationship right now in Africa.
No, you cannot stay alone in the whole world.
Are we getting any support from some of the countries he has visited?
Yes.
Which one?
Trade.
No, trade will still progress on.
No,
we still progress on. Now he has increased his office expenditure. I think to something. Is it 9 billion? 900 billion something.
That is for service delivery. Efficient services delivered.
We have 52 cars. Which efficient delivery is there?
So you expect the president to have one car?
The president should have reduced or maintained the number that was there.
But he has the reasons.
No, there is no reason. Can you tell me any ministry that has worked efficiently after being given those cars?
Okay.
Tell me one ministry that has because when you do something, you should be seeing the fruit.
Okay.
Any ministry that you are saying that was given, some cars were replaced by 2. Now tell me any ministry that has worked efficiently.
You have the internal security office.
That is because there's only one man there with brains. That is Kindiki, Professor Kindiki.
No, the other reason why the Kindiki is seen as working is because his office is busy.
He's
very
not busy.
It's a busy office. Like other ministries, they're not such busy. So you cannot see them on media every day.
We have a ministry called, we have our education now where we are right now. Tell me anything that has changed since our new cabinet, that is CS Machogu got into office, and which is very effective. Let's be honest.
What were you expecting? One, let me say. About the exams. He has changed about the exams, cheating.
Exam cheating is going to, this one I think.
He said now we are going to have the managers, we call them center managers. They have to go to the toys a day.
Someone who has supervised exam.
Toys a day. That is something that is going to come.
Now that is when we are talking about.
Then let me say another thing that has happened. CS Machogu for education. He has ensured that there is we call the CBC implementation of CBC. He is trying. Children are at home.
Can you be honest?
Children are at home. Children are not to school.
With a very honest point of view.
Yeah, but children are in school.
No, they are in school.
Teachers,
they are learning taking place.
The president has employed that 5,000 teachers. He's going to employ again this financial year to ensure that CBC teachers.
I've asked a very simple question. Even our
you said
you
said that I named 2 things that the cabinet secretary for education has done. Imagine ensuring that there is implementation of CBC in the country.
Now I can't blame our government for the CBC because that is a problem they inherited from the previous government. But what I can blame our government is how they have taken this issue. To be honestly, there is no learning taking place in CBC. Those are just students wamevaa uniform vizuri, wenye walikuwa wanavaa kinyasa, now they are putting on a long trouser and just going to school. But in the real sense, there is no CBC in our country. Because you can't tell me 2 teachers in a school are going to teach 12 subjects.
But those
2 teachers can't teach. You can't take. Actually, the other day
you have only one class. Remember, One class. It's one class.
Leave one class. That is how.
Then
that teacher is having almost like 4 lessons in
a
week.
No, they were trained. They were trained on how to teach. So, for example, there are how many teachers are said?
2 teachers.
2 teachers.
Yeah.
You have 2 teaching subjects. So you are either
No,
languages.
they are doing 12
you are either languages,
languages
and humanities.
They are doing 12 subjects. Now leave that alone. CBC students came to my school where I'm teaching right now. They came for laboratory. They were saying those laboratory equipment. And I took my time to look at the content that they were being taught in that school. And actually, the content that is in CBC. And when I look about the science, which I think is science which is being taught there, I don't know, I've forgotten the name. Actually, that is chemistry for Form 2 work right now.
Okay.
Now, you're telling me a teacher who's teaching history. No offense to my fellow history teachers. Chemistry was never a friend. Now, that teacher, you're going to tell that teacher who's teaching history to go teach chemistry that right now is being taught. That is Form 2 content chemistry right now. Is that teacher going to be efficient?
Yeah. And again, you have to remember the CBC. You have to choose. So students are going.
No, right now they are doing all,
but they are going to choose.
Yes, they are going to choose. But there is no efficiency in teaching those subjects. You can't tell me as a history teacher to go teach maths. I have zero idea about maths.
So okay, let's say this. Let's give the president time. We have the budget that is going to be read on 15th.
The budget
June this month. From there, you're going to see what happens. But the financial bill, back to the teachers. Now, are you going to support it or you're not going to support it?
Absolutely. Any teacher who's listening to me, I think if the Kupet doesn't take a step and call us for mandamano, I think we have to go a mandamano ourselves, because right now, let's be honest, our salary as teachers is a very squeezed salary.
So mandamano because of 1,600.
Now let me tell you,
for development of the country.
There is no developing of the country. There is no developing of the country. We can't.
Since Moi, then came Kibaki, then came Uhuru. We have been seeing development in the country. That's
but
the truth.
Development that has been taking place during time was not in the expense of Kenyans.
Now, yeah.
Not on the expense of Kenyans.
Yeah, but we have no loans from outside the country. And
yes, we do have
it's us who are paying it.
Yes, we have loans as a country. And when you have loans as a country, I could not have an issue with the president, even in the 3 years he's been in office, to do a zero project. Because if he was someone wise enough, if you have a loan, we could the 3 years he's in office to focus on paying that loan. So we don't have a major project during that 3 years. Our focus will mostly be on paying what? The loans. The 3 years to repay loans. After the 3 years, after happened, and as any other project. But right now, our president is bringing the house levy when it is not the right time, because it's not a bad project. It's not on the right time. I don't propose the house levy. Right now, the project has come when it's not the right time. Right now, things are not well. Unga is at 240. Sugar cane, that is sugar is coming at right now.
But inflation is all over in the world. All over the world. We need to understand as Kenyans inflation.
Yes. So that is why the house levy has to wait. It's not mandatory to take place right now. It can take place after 2 years. I'll not have a problem if my salary is deducted 1,000 shillings. Maybe after 3 years, when the economy is stable, when I'm buying things that are relatively cheaper price, because I'll be having an extra cash. Right now, I'm buying unga at 240.
But we need to understand that inflation is all over. Sometimes Kenyans over-expect. Look at Nigeria. Nigeria fuel is 240.
Now, Nigeria, you can't compare Nigeria and Kenya. You cannot compare Nigeria and Kenya at the same time.
Why?
You cannot. Basically, economically, Nigeria is a bit stronger than Kenya.
Ours. Yes.
You can't compare Nigeria. At the same time, you can't compare.
So when Kenya, we should compare ourselves.
You can't compare Kenya. When I listen to a president, you can't compare. The other day I was talking about Singapore. You cannot compare Kenya with Singapore.
But we were the same level in 1980s.
But those people are very much far ahead of us.
Yeah, but in the decisions they made, like housing levy, so that you can develop the country.
Those are not the decisions that are going to develop the country. Houses are not going to make the country develop. How is houses going to make us develop? How is housing going
creating employment?
And that employment is for how many years?
Yeah, for some time.
No, it's for some time.
Engineers are going to be employed. Very many engineers are going to.
For a period of how long?
Yeah, we know this is a long time.
No, we are
a long-term project.
The problem we're having in this country is number one, that is unemployment.
Yes.
And we want a permanent solution for unemployment. Now, creating the house levy, that means it's going to only to be functional for this government. Maybe after the next government, there is not there. And that is an employment in Yenenda Kuchukua maybe 5 years. You have not solved unemployment in the country.
It's very hard to interview as a new guy. I think you're
I'm not a new guy, but some things need sense. Some things need...
You hear people say that it's very hard to convince mtu wa Raila, mtu mwanamke ambaye anaenda Saudi Arabia na support wa Man U.
Now let me not tell you one thing. Now, if you are going to increase the 3% house levy, you are going to kill our manufacturing company in Kenya. And not even manufacturing company, you are killing the private sector in Kenya.
But some guys, let me tell you, the private sector should be we say it's actually exploits Kenya sometimes.
The private sector is the biggest employers of Kenya in our country.
But exploitative. Look at how the amount of money they pay those workers who are working there.
Do you know that most people are paid well in this country are in private sector? Not even the government. Government hakuna pesa. It's poverty. You cannot compare nurse working in a Kenya level 5 hospital and a nurse working in a private hospital. Now,
what's your message to the president?
My message to the president
as a teacher.
Yeah. We don't really oppose the house levy. Only thing we are saying is that it is not the right time.
Okay.
It's not the right time.
When is the right time now?
We are not completely opposing the project, but we are saying it is not the right time. It's a good project. Actually, it's a good project because it was started by a previous regime, that is Uhuru Kenyatta. It is a good project. And personally, I like the project. But what am I opposing it is, it is not the right time right now. Let us give our country 3 years to stabilize our economy first. And after we have stabilized our economy, then you can come to teachers again and tell us the house levy. I don't have a problem completely the house levy. I only say it is not the right time for us to impose more taxes on Kenyans.
So according to teachers, we wait for 3 years, then 3%
according to teachers, after 3 years, we can accept the 3%.
Okay.
But kwa sasa hivi, the economy is not at where we want it to be.
It's a discussion that is going to go on
It's a discussion that
can never end.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Welcome. Watu wafai taxes. Fill your taxes, my friends. I'm very busy. That's why you cannot see me in this channel. I'm very busy filling taxes.